Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in the Going Deep segment, brought to you by CO2Lift in our Expert on the Microphone series, joining us is Dr. Azza Halim. She's a board-certified anesthesiologist and leading expert in aesthetic, anti-aging, and regenerative medicine with practices in Florida, Illinois, and California. She's the founder of Azza MD Beauty. Now, Dr. Halim is widely recognized for her innovative, holistic approaches, combining facial rejuvenation techniques with cutting edge solutions like carbon dioxide therapy and exosomes. Her expertise has earned her features in Vogue, Glamour, and Oprah Daily, and she's also presented at top global conferences. Today, we're going to dive into the transformative world of carbon dioxide. We're going to focus on CO2 therapy for skin rejuvenation, a technique revolutionizing aesthetic medicine that's been around since the 1930s. Specifically, we're going to explore Dr. Halim's unique approach with carboxytherapy using needles, how it compares to the CO2Lift Pro gel, and why exosomes are becoming the next big thing in regenerative medicine and skin treatments. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So excited to chat about my favorite topic, skincare, especially right around the new year. So important to set the tone. But let's go back to the basics of carboxytherapy. So Dr. Halim, carboxytherapy or carbon dioxide therapy has been gaining traction for its skin rejuvenating effects. Can you explain how the process works and why it's so effective for improving skin elasticity and reducing wrinkles versus other modalities?
So one of the things is, and I actually did trademark carboxytherapy treatments using needles, as you had just said. And carboxytherapy, also as you mentioned, started in the 1930s in France in all the French spas. What we do is we use the needles in order to actually deliver medical grade carbon dioxide. And what that does is it actually increases blood flow circulation to the areas that is being delivered to, which allows more micronutrients to come to that area. This is the reason we're able to actually treat various indications such as hyperpigmentation, dark circles, skin laxity, because when you do all of that, it also tightens the skin, helps thicken the skin by process of neocollagenesis, which is also collagen building, something that is a protein that our skin and body needs, which declines as we age, which is also why it's a fantastic treatment that with the CO2 lift gel and the CO2 carboxy on the device, I'm able to integrate and combine both for maximum optimal results.
It's so fascinating. And so essentially, the increased oxygenation stimulates collagen production, which is a cornerstone for youthful, healthy skin. And it's incredible how this method taps into the body's natural repair mechanisms, which is why I love it so much. When you look at the research from the Journal of Dermatological Treatment, it shows that carboxytherapy significantly improved skin tone and elasticity with measurable results in as little as 4 to 6 sessions. So you're definitely onto something. Now let's talk about comparing carboxytherapy with the CO2 Lift Pro gel. So you're known for injecting carboxytherapy with microneedles into the skin, which is a more invasive approach. But how does this compare to the CO2 Lift Pro gel, which is a non-invasive option that also uses carbon dioxide to rejuvenate the skin? I mean, are there specific benefits to each method?
Yes, and that's a fantastic point to bring up and to compare. So the invasive approach, which is the carboxytherapy, is a device. You have to have the procedure done in office. And on the device that I use, I'm able to deliver the CO2 for two different options. One is to increase blood flow neocollagenesis, and the other one is actually apoptosis, that if I want to break down fat deposits, I want to do cold lipolysis, which is actually freezing the fat cells, which by the body then eliminates. Now, with the carboxy gel, you're able to do that in office as well as at home because it is non-invasive. It has a transdermal absorption, which is unique mechanism in order to be able to increase permeability of other products that are being applied, whether at home or to also prime the skin in advance of preparing and doing other treatments in office. So the carboxy gel goes hand in hand with the extra carboxy therapy. And as I mentioned, my trademarks were, and I created them several years ago with the carboxy therapy device, was in conjunction to treat everything from dark circles under the eyes to skin laxity to actually cellulite, which is a big thing as well.
That makes total sense. I mean, it's logical, right? The gel offers an easy at-home solution for maintenance, while the needle-based therapy provides deeper, more targeted results. It's can't get easier than that. And it's a great example of combining innovation with patient accessibility, which is the hardest thing. In fact, when you look at the studies from plastic and aesthetic research, they show that combining non-invasive treatments with in-office procedures actually enhances outcomes significantly, what they call these combo therapies. So I love what you're doing. Now, you're a big proponent of pairing the CO2 lift therapy with exosomes. So for those unfamiliar, and you can get into it a little bit deeper, but exosomes, to my understanding, are tiny cellular messengers that play a critical role in tissue repair and regeneration. So how does this combination elevate results? I mean, what makes exosomes such a game changer in aesthetics?
So exosomes has actually been something that has been researched and is actually used worldwide in different avenues. Here in the US, of course, we're waiting for the full FDA approval. And also for transparency, I am the Chief Medical Officer for Chimera Labs, which is also very innovative in as far as the exosome world and research. And right now, exosomes in the United States are used only as topical. Now, when you're using a product like the CO2 Lift in order to increase permeability for any kind of serums or products, and then you apply the exosomes, then you're getting that double combination benefit of skin rejuvenation. And why is that? Exosomes are cell-to-cell carriers and they deliver cargo. And what they are, depending on the type of the exosomes that you have, they can deliver all kinds of growth factors. And I know people have always used, and providers have used, PRP or PRF or PRF gel. Now, those also have different growth factors and they come from yourself, which are autologous. The beauty of exosomes, there are no living cells in them. So we don't have to worry about any kind of immunogenicity. We don't have to worry about any kind of testing other than making sure that the sourcing and the sterility of the product. Now, what they do is actually help skin and tissue regeneration, the rejuvenation, and they actually do help with the thickness, skin elasticity, and the overall, as far as even treatments of things like, and I'm not going to say treatment because we do not want to ever use exosomes or any product as a diagnostic or treatment, whether it's the CO2, the carboxytherapy, or the gel, or the exosomes. So just for clarification purposes, nothing is used as a treatment. When we say that, we mean procedure. So at the end of the day, the exosomes are applied topically, just like you would with a serum, and you would also use in combination with the CO2 lift, which allows the enhanced results of both products.
Wow, exosomes truly seem to be the next frontier in aesthetic medicine. I mean, it's crazy to see that the skin's ability to heal and regenerate has an easier path with these exosomes. I mean, I love it that it's the next trend, if you will. And according to
We
these,
can't wait until hopefully it gets FDA approved eventually, but that's going to take years of research and trials. And as long as everyone is also abiding by the rules and regulations, and that's what we all have to stick to.
yeah, without a doubt, because there's a lot of buzzwords and there's a lot of misinformation out there. But there was a study published in Stem Cells Translational um, Medicine, it was, and exosomes were specifically deemed, and this was 10 years ago, to accelerate wound healing and improve skin texture within weeks. So I love the advancements, but like you said, FDA, big barrier. We got to get through things one step at a time before we make them widely accessible. So let's talk about hyperpigmentation and scarring. So hyperpigmentation and acne scarring are two major concerns for many people. So how does your approach with carboxytherapy and CO2 lift address these issues? Are there particular patient success stories that stand out, perhaps?
Yes. So in the past, everyone has always used everything from microneedling with RF, without RF, subcision for acne scars. Just to dive into that one first, is because in order to, when we do subcision, we're breaking up the fibrosis and the scars. So for me, what I decided to do, and I tested on several of my patients and they got fantastic results because of the fact that when you are delivering the CO2, the gas itself is also breaking up and subsiding through the delivery of the needles, the actual fibrosis and the scar tissue, which is also why I was able to implement it in order to create my combination therapy for cellulite. Because we know that also cellulite, you have tethering of bands, and those tethering of the bands are what create those actual lobules to bulge and create that appearance of cellulite. So acne scars, depending on the type of scarring, how deep they are, the first thing you want to do is break up the scar tissue. The next thing you want to do is be able to replace that lost collagen or depression in the scar. And you also then have to tackle the actual pigmentation that comes with the scar. So this is the reason it is a multi-step process. So one, breaking up the scar tissue with carboxytherapy on the device. and increasing blood flow circulation to the area. Also combining and adding the carboxy gel to use it for home care, because we know that treating acne scars or any kind of skin issue, it is a journey. And when I tell my patients that, it means that they're going to be coming in for X amount of treatments every so often. They're also going to need to follow and comply with the home care. And that's where the combination of home care versus in office is really the best bang for your buck, as well as for results optimization.
It's inspiring to hear such personalized care in action. And you're right. I mean, acne scars and hyperpigmentation can be notoriously difficult to treat. Okay, so let's talk about carboxytherapy versus other skin rejuvenation treatments. So there's so many treatments out there for skin rejuvenation, laser, microneedling. You mentioned PRP. In your opinion, how does carboxytherapy compare to these more traditional approaches?
So carboxytherapy, as I mentioned, how it compares, I find that microneedling, you're delivering energy to the area in order to hopefully thicken the dermal layers and the epidermal layers. As far as pigmentation, does it remove that or not? That's sometimes yes, sometimes no. It is not always guaranteed. And obviously, I have all those devices and mechanisms in all my practices, which is great, along with laser resurfacing, because this is the reason too, from a dermatological standpoint, the whole concept of using retin A or retinols is to be able to increase cell turnover. Now, one of the good things about when you're doing carboxytherapy and you're doing the carboxy gel is that you are increasing the cell turnover invasively and minimally invasive and non-invasive, as well as the fact that you are going to increase that circulatory need of micronutrient delivery to the skin. And this is the reason too, I always tell everyone, your home skincare is going to be very important. You cannot just rely on a one treatment in the office, go home, and then not do your morning and night regimen. So I am very, very big on home skincare and treatments. And this is why carboxy gel, I find, is actually innovative and I love, because patients are able to maintain, and they could do it every day. They could do it every couple of days, once a week, whatever is going to fit their lifestyle. So this is the reason I'm able to address the scarring, pigmentation, pores, anything with texture, fine lines, and even luminosity of the skin.
That's such an important perspective, and it seems like carboxytherapy really does stand out for its ability to treat a wide range of issues without significant downtime, which is a huge advantage for patients with busy lifestyles. I know it's the biggest determining factor for me when I'm evaluating a treatment or a procedure. So your approach is very holistic, which I love, focusing on lifestyle and nutrition and just overall wellness. How important are these factors when it comes to achieving lasting results with these skin treatments?
So I am a very big proponent and supporter of beauty from inside out. And that has been always my mantra to my patients, just because of the fact that you can work on the outside, but if you're not healthy on the inside, then what happens is that shows. Our skin is actually the largest organ of our body, and that reflects our internal health. So when we are healthy with our micronutrients, our gut microbiome, and this is something that I always emphasize, your gut microbiome is related to your skin microbiome, as well as the skin, gut, and brain axis. So if we don't have a healthy mind, we don't have a healthy body, we don't have the proper microbiome internally and externally, your skin will look dull and dry, and it will also age prematurely. Diet, nutrition, exercise, and just daily lifestyle of yoga, meditation, and de-stressing, disconnecting. And I know it's easier said than done, but we all have to find the time, because at the end of the day, glowing skin doesn't come from just doing a bunch of laser treatments. As we know, and we've seen it time and time again, I can do all the laser treatments in my office and I have the most advanced technologies. If patients are not compliant internally, externally, their skin is still going to not see much improvement, or it's going to look even worse than they started. So this is something that is, I say, a collaborative journey between myself and my patients. And it's very important in order to be able to combine the two.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected. And what you're describing aligns with findings in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology, which emphasize that combining lifestyle changes with treatments extend and enhance results without a doubt. So, again, spot on. Finally, Dr. Halim, what's next on the horizon for skin rejuvenation? Are there any emerging technologies or innovations you're particularly excited about? I know we spoke about exosomes, but what else is at the forefront?
I think one of the big trends, and that's something that's going to be amazing and that I'm already involved with, is AI wellness. And with the artificial intelligence when it comes to skin analysis, skin assessment, creating customized individual treatment plans, treatment products, as well as products that are already in the makings as far as the transdermal absorption path in order to be able to actually deliver the products to the skin, into the skin, as opposed to just sitting on the epidermal surface layer. Because don't forget, we need to make sure whatever products we're using, they're being absorbed. If they're not going between your dermal and epidermal layers, then they're just sitting on the surface of the skin. So that's not going to do any benefit for anyone. The other thing is going to be something that they call 3D printing, which is the actual creation of skin tissue, regeneration, similar to the concept of possibly grafting, but they're also working on that as well. And I think that is actually fantastic in the tech world, in the actual, biotechnology world. So I think those are things that are going to be very big in the future as we see them. Because as you just mentioned, stem cells and exosomes, they're getting a lot of hot press. They are a lot of buzzwords. They're still in development. I know that internationally, people are using them for different indications and different pathways of delivery. We're not there yet here in the US, but also as far as AI, that's booming quite a bit.
It's so thrilling to hear about what's coming next. And I know artificial intelligence, there's a lot of technophobes out there, but I think it's really going to take the medical perspective to the next heightened level where you just said it. It's all about personalized solutions and clearly moving toward more regenerative and personalized solutions at the same time, not one without the other, right? Well, we are officially out of time. What an enlightening interview. I learned so much. I love talking to my experts, and you are surely one of them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, for more information about Dr. Halim's practice and cutting edge treatments, you can visit AzzaMDBeauty.com, or you could follow her on Instagram at AzzaMDBeauty. Now, this segment of Expert on the Microphone was the Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2Lift, the leader in non-invasive skin rejuvenation. Stay tuned for more on 710 WR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2Lift. CO2Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home Carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase in luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2Lift, ask your skincare professional or go to CO2Lift.com.